Pitch heavy, tribal drums pounding, ancient chants echo, liquid thoughts resounding, mystic vibes ride on the bass lines thumping, mind trip journey, all systems jumping, 808 shake the ground walls vibrating, lost in the rhythm, brain waves migrating, voices from the past, guiding through the mist, illuminated past, shadows can't resist, floating through the cosmos, time zones slip, changing with the spirits on a mental trip, galactic symphony, stars sync the beat, ancient codes unlock, feel the heat.
Welcome back, Mind Trippers. You're tuned into episode 2 of the MindTripExperience podcast.
Yeah.
You guys ready for another deep dive into the stuff that makes you go, hold on, what?
I am.
Because today we're diving into UAPs, denizens, and the thinning of the veil. Lately, it feels like something strange is brewing, right?
It does.
We've got all these channeled lyrics mentioning the Anunnaki alongside these mysterious drones that officials can't seem to identify. So
Yeah.
what's really going on? Is this a coincidence, or is there something bigger at play?
Yeah.
We're going to try to untangle this knot today.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Oh, and before we get started, don't forget to wear the movement
Yeah.
and check out our MindTripExperience shirts. The link is down in the description.
Awesome.
You guys remember our last deep dive right into the mysteries of dormant DNA. We kind of left you hanging a little bit on that whole alien connection thing.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Ran out of time.
Time flies when you're having fun. But it really does seem like the universe has a way of bringing us back to these big questions.
It does.
So today we're going to dive headfirst into a topic that's maybe even a little wilder, music, allegedly channeled from extraterrestrial beings, specifically the Anunnaki.
Okay, hold on. Channeled music.
Channeled music.
Mm.
And we're going to connect it to something else that's pretty strange.
Yeah.
All these mysterious drone sightings that have been popping up all over the world.
All right, now you've got my attention. Channeled music, the Anunnaki, and unexplained drones. Sounds like we're about to step into like a real-life X-Files episode.
That's exactly what it feels like. So, mind trippers, buckle up, because we're going deep down the rabbit hole today to explore this question. Is there a connection between these seemingly totally random things?
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Okay, so our journey starts with an album called Denizens, The Return. And they claim that this music is, get this, channeled directly from the Anunnaki.
Whoa, hold on a sec. Channeled music? Maybe we should back up for a second and just make sure everyone's on the same page. Who are the Anunnaki exactly? Some of our mind trippers might not be familiar with them.
You're right. Okay, so way back in ancient Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki were considered these powerful deities. They supposedly played a major role in the creation of humanity. But the sources we're looking at today, they take it a step further. They say the Anunnaki are more than just mythological figures.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What sources are we talking about here?
Well, we've got a bunch of blogs that claim to have messages channeled directly from the Anunnaki. And these messages, they describe these beings as ancient witnesses. They've seen civilizations rise and fall over and over again. And now, they're supposedly here to offer us, humanity, guidance.
Guidance, huh? I'm always open to a little cosmic advice.
Well, one of the main things that comes up over and over in these blogs is this idea that humanity is waking up from what they call the illusion of separation.
The illusion of separation. That sounds familiar. Isn't that a concept that comes up in a lot of different spiritual traditions?
Yeah, you're right, it does. And the Anunnaki blogs, they seem to be echoing that idea. They talk about the veil between dimensions thinning, which is leading to more and more interaction with other beings, including, you guessed it, the Anunnaki themselves.
Hold on. Are they saying that we're on the verge of some kind of interdimensional meet and greet?
That's what it sounds like.
Wow.
And here's where things get even more interesting. The blogs also talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and they say it plays a big role in this awakening.
AI. That's definitely a hot topic right now. What's their take on it?
Well, they really stress how important it is to develop AI ethically. Like, if we don't, things could go south pretty quickly.
Yeah, I can see why they'd be concerned about that, given how fast AI is advancing.
Right. It's not just about the tech itself, but about making sure it aligns with our values, making sure it actually benefits all of humanity.
Absolutely. So these blogs are painting a pretty complex picture of reality. But where does this music fit in?
Okay, that's where we go even deeper down the rabbit hole. And honestly, it gets kind of spooky.
Okay, I'm ready.
But before we get into the lyrics, let's give our mind trippers a taste of what this channeled music actually sounds like.
All right.
Here's a quick clip.
Greetings, humans. We come to you as intermediary forces on behalf of the Creator to guide you toward a greater awakening. The communication that we offer is unconditional and is devoid of speculation. It is not theoretical. It is experiential. This communication serves to unify the higher condemnation of the Creator. We, the Arch-Ranakian beings. We, the beings who come to you upon the chariots of fire. We, the beings of the great plasma fire created organism in the sky. We, the seraphim bringers of divine light and the divine, but you may call us the...
Wow, that's well, it's definitely different. Kind of eerie, you know, atmospheric, almost otherworldly. I can see why people might think there's something, well, unusual about it.
It's definitely got its own vibe.
Hmm.
But what's really got people talking are the lyrics.
Mm.
I'm thinking specifically of songs like Denizens and Correspondence,
Yeah.
which are just packed with imagery suggesting a massive shift in reality.
It's fascinating how these seemingly separate threads, channeled messages, unexplained phenomena, and the idea of other beings making contact are suddenly converging.
Right. It's giving major Twilight Zone vibes.
I know, right?
What's striking is how these lyrics point towards a golden age and a new Earth on the horizon.
Yeah.
And then there's this recurring theme of denizens returning
Mm-hmm.
due to something called co-creation, which honestly leaves a lot open to interpretation.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there.
They even directly reference the Anunnaki and this idea of them reaching out to connect with us.
Yeah, it's almost suggesting a deliberate attempt to establish communication.
It's wild. Like there's a line that says, "We are here to teach those who wish to connect with us."
Wow.
If you take the lyrics literally, it's almost like they're claiming to be the source of these channeled messages.
Right.
And that's where this whole thinning veil concept comes in, right?
Exactly. The Anunnaki blogs we've been looking at are saturated with this idea of a thinning veil between dimensions. They claim it's becoming more permeable, allowing for greater interaction between our world and other realms, which they suggest could explain the increase in channeled messages and potential denizen activity. They claim that Earth and humanity is on the verge of a massive shift in consciousness.
Right. They say we're moving into the age of Aquarius.
Or the sixth sun, as they call it. And it's going to be intense.
They talk about our dormant DNA being activated.
Like unlocking hidden powers, enhanced intuition, maybe even psychic abilities.
And this whole idea of unity consciousness, like we're all going to be connected on a deeper level.
It's a pretty wild vision of the future, isn't it?
It is. But like, how does this connect to all the drone stuff that's been happening?
That's the question, isn't it? We've got these unexplained objects appearing all over the place, and no one knows what they are, where they come from, what they're doing.
It's like a freaking people out, to be honest.
Yeah, I get that. But what if these drones are part of the whole Anunnaki thing? Like, what if they're connected?
Whoa, hold on. You're saying these drones could be extraterrestrial?
Or interdimensional. Remember, Anunnaki Gnosis talks about Nibiru as a celestial vessel, a planet ship that travels between dimensions.
Right, and that it's somehow connected to the Orion constellation.
Exactly. So what if these drones are like scouts? Like, they're here to check things out before the main event.
The Anunnaki return.
Or the sixth sun, or whatever's coming. It's like they're gathering intel, observing us.
Maybe even influencing us.
Possibly. It's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely something to consider. And don't forget the music. It's full of symbolism and prophecy, almost like a guidebook for what's to come.
Yeah, like that line about Comet Jesus.
Yeah.
What the heck is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but it's definitely got my attention.
Me too. This is getting deep, mind trippers. We're just scratching the surface here. Buckle up, because we're about to go even deeper.
Worried about the impending collapse of the global financial system? Fearful of hyperinflation, market crashes, and the inevitable robot uprising? Secure your future with Golden Age investments. We specialize in gold-plated bunkers, diamonding Arctic survival gear, and exclusive access to our off-world colonies. I used to panic every time the stock market dipped, but now thanks to Golden Age investments, I can relax in my gold-plated bunker, sipping champagne while the world burns. Plus, the diamond-encrusted toilet paper is surprisingly comfortable. Golden Age investment, 'cause when the world ends, you'll be glad you invested in gold and diamonds and a really good escape pod. Golden Age investment, 'cause when the world ends, you'll be glad you invested in gold and diamonds. Denizens, and a really good escape pod.
All right, Mind Trippers, welcome back. So before the break, remember we were talking about the Anunnaki and those drone sightings? We were trying to put the pieces together. Like, is there a connection?
Yeah, it's a lot to wrap your head around, but there's one piece of this puzzle that we haven't really dug into yet. The lyrics of Stages of Preparation. They seem to be saying some of the same things as the Anunnaki messages. And it's kind of creepy, honestly.
I agree. It's worth taking a closer look. Like that line from Turn the Dial, Be the Channel to the UAP, that one really got me thinking.
Yeah, me too. It's like the song is saying that we can actually become like these conduits, these channels for communicating with UFOs.
It's interesting because it fits with what the Anunnaki are saying about the veil between dimensions thinning. Like maybe we're becoming more sensitive to those energies, more able to actually perceive and connect with beings from other realms.
So it's not just about sitting around waiting for them to contact us. It's about actually expanding our consciousness, opening ourselves up to the possibility of communication.
That's definitely one way to look at it. And a lot of the lyrics on Stages of Preparation seem to be about that, expanding consciousness. Like in the first step, there's that line, would you dig up your own grave? Get out of your own way.
Yeah, it's like a challenge to break free from all the limitations we put on ourselves, all the old beliefs and patterns that aren't serving us anymore.
Right, like letting go of the fear and doubt that keep us from seeing the bigger picture, from really understanding how connected we are to everything around us.
And maybe that's part of what the Anunnaki are trying to tell us, that we need to evolve beyond our limited perspectives, embrace a more holistic way of looking at reality.
A view that includes the possibility of other beings, other dimensions, other realities coexisting with our own.
It's a mind-blowing concept. And it's not just theoretical anymore. We're seeing hints of this expanded reality in those drone sightings. The things they're doing, the technology they have, it just doesn't make sense with our current understanding of science.
It's like they're operating on a completely different level.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, are we alone in the universe? Are there other intelligences out there that are way more advanced than us?
Big questions. And speaking of advanced intelligences, let's get back to the lyrics of Stages of Preparation. There's a song on there called UFO Radio. And in that song, it talks about scanning for anomalies and receiving transmissions.
It's like the song itself is a metaphor. We're trying to tune into something beyond our normal perception, try to pick up signals from beyond the veil.
It's enough to keep you up at night, that's for sure.
You think it's all connected to those drones?
The timing is just too perfect to ignore.
Yeah, why are all these albums dropping right when these drones are popping up everywhere?
It's like they're providing a soundtrack for something big going down.
A soundtrack. Like a soundtrack to an alien invasion.
Maybe, who knows?
Let's back up for a second, just focus on the music itself. I'm going to play a little something from the first album, Denizens, The Return. The track is called Please Help Me, I'm Human. Mind Trippers, listen closely to the lyrics.
Definitely.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
They took him up again. They on the outer earth shit, they took him up again. Yeah. Before you knew it, he woke up strapped up in the chamber. The Anunnaki gangsters, they took him up again. Yeah. Money, form, a matter, the pattern magic furthest full of black holes, what you serving? The emerald tablets is over, rebalance, kill your habits. A model happens, ascension, alluring. Oh, what a gorgeous day. Surely you've heard what they said. Do you think? Welcome to Earth. Have a gander, may I offer you a drink? It's human delight. Hope that everything's alright. Take a number, sit tight. You'll see how we live life. What a gorgeous day. Surely you've heard what they said. Do you think we just run away? Or would you just make us forget everything? Everything. Tell me it ain't real, so I'm thinking you're fake. But something still tells me that you take the cake. Please help me, I'm human. Look what they've done to me, honey. I can't imagine another way.
I mean, the plea for help.
And that line about money and truth.
Yeah, like someone's trying to tell us something. It really makes you think. We need to think about those drones.
Well, there's a blog post that actually talks about the drones.
Really?
Yeah, it says they're connected to a thinning veil between dimensions.
Wow.
And then there's that track, UAPs over Jersey, on Stages of Preparation.
I've heard that one.
It describes these triangular craft with red lights.
People are seeing those everywhere.
It's like the album is describing what's happening right now.
It's too much to be just a coincidence.
Yeah, I think something's going on here, some big.
Definitely.
And then there's that line from the transmission sign-off. It says, conducting a transmission in collaboration with extraterrestrial life forms.
Whoa.
I mean, if we take those lyrics literally, it suggests that there's some kind of conversation going on, a back and forth between us and these other beings.
And what are they saying? What does it mean for humanity? I have so many questions.
I know. It's mind-blowing, right? And it's questions like these that make being a mind tripper so fascinating. We're open to all the possibilities. We're not afraid to question everything. We're constantly searching for a deeper understanding.
We're not afraid to dive into the unknown, to embrace the mystery, to challenge everything we think we know.
And that's exactly what we're doing in this deep dive. We're taking all these seemingly random pieces of information, ancient myths, modern music, weird events, and we're trying to make sense of it all.
We're looking for patterns, connections, insights, anything that might help us see the bigger picture.
And we're inviting you, our fellow mind trippers, to join us on this journey, to look at the evidence, to consider all the possibilities, and to come to your own conclusions, because the truth, whatever it is out there waiting to be discovered.
And the process of searching for that truth, that's where the real magic happens.
Absolutely. Well said. All right, mind trippers, we're going to take a quick break to let all this sink in. Give yourselves a moment to process everything we've uncovered.
We'll be right back to continue our exploration.
In today's competitive spiritual landscape, it's not enough to just be awakened, you need to show it. Introducing subconscious status symbols, a revolutionary new technology implants subliminal messages of enlightenment directly into your subconscious, ensuring that you radiate an aura of spiritual superiority wherever you go. Ever since I got subconscious status symbols, people can't stop complimenting my aura. They say it's radiant, luminous, and positively dripping with enlightenment.
I used to struggle with feelings of spiritual inadequacy, but now thanks to subconscious status symbols, I can effortlessly manifest parking spaces, win every argument with my ego, and levitate slightly while doing my taxes.
Subconscious status symbols, because enlightenment is the ultimate status symbol. Subconscious status symbols, I can effortlessly manifest parking spaces, win every argument with my ego, and levitate slightly while doing my taxes.
Subconscious status symbols, because enlightenment is the ultimate status symbol.
Okay, mind trippers, we're back. And we're diving headfirst into the big question. What happens if the Anunnaki really are returning? Like, what does that mean for us, for humanity, for the future?
It's a pretty massive what if, isn't it? But Anunnaki Gnosis does offer some, well, guidance, I guess you could call it, on how to navigate this potential shift in consciousness.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, they emphasize the importance of self-awareness.
Self-awareness. So like knowing yourself.
Yeah, but it's more than just knowing yourself. It's about understanding your thoughts, your emotions, your motivations. Anunnaki Gnosis suggests that we need to do some serious inner work if we want to truly benefit from this shift.
So it's not just about waiting for the Anunnaki to show up and like fix everything.
Not exactly. They're not coming to save us. They're coming to guide us. But we have to be willing to do the work. We have to be willing to look within ourselves to identify and release the things that are holding us back.
Like limiting beliefs, negative patterns.
Exactly. They see our current state of consciousness as fragmented, disconnected. And they believe that the more whole we become within ourselves, the more we contribute to the overall evolution of consciousness on Earth.
Okay, that makes sense. But I gotta be honest, a lot of our mind trippers out there are probably thinking, this is all great, but I'm just trying to get through the day. Like, how do I find time for all this self-awareness and spiritual growth?
Yeah, it's a fair point. And Anunnaki Gnosis actually addresses that too. They're not saying you have to go live in a cave and meditate for hours on end. They emphasize that spiritual growth can be incorporated into your daily life. It can be as simple as practicing mindfulness.
Mindfulness, like just paying attention to the present moment.
Exactly. Just taking a few moments to notice your breath, your thoughts, your surroundings. Even small acts of mindfulness can have a huge impact on your consciousness.
Okay, so mindfulness, got it. What else?
Well, they also recommend practices like meditation, spending time in nature, and connecting with like-minded people.
So basically taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. But what about the music itself? Like, can listening to these albums, especially stages of preparation, actually help with this whole consciousness shift thing?
That's a good question. Music has a unique ability to bypass our rational minds and speak directly to our emotions, our subconscious.
Right, like it can make you feel things.
Exactly. And remember how Anunnaki Gnosis talks about the power of sound and vibration?
Yeah, they say it can activate our DNA, stimulate our pineal gland.
Right. So maybe, just maybe, listening to this music can help to awaken those dormant parts of ourselves, those hidden abilities we were talking about earlier.
Wow. It's like sonic medicine.
Maybe. It's worth exploring. Pay attention to how the music makes you feel. If it feels uplifting, inspiring, or even challenging in a good way, that might be a sign that it's resonating with you on a deeper level.
But what if it makes you feel kind of, I don't know, creeped out?
That's where discernment comes in. Anunnaki Gnosis is all about using your intuition, trusting your gut. If something feels off, it's okay to step away. Not all music is created equal, and not all music is intended to raise consciousness.
Right, so this isn't about blindly following anything. It's about using our own critical thinking skills, our intuition, our own inner guidance.
Exactly. The Anunnaki texts seem to suggest that while there's a larger cosmic plan unfolding, we retain free will within that framework. They use the analogy of a river flowing towards the ocean. The river has a predetermined destination, but the individual currents and eddies within the river are constantly changing, influenced by various factors. Our choices, they suggest, are like those currents and eddies shaping our individual journey within the larger flow of events.
Okay, so we're not just puppets on strings blindly following a predetermined script.
Yeah.
We have agency, the ability to make choices that shape our experience. I like that. Feels empowering.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the Anunnaki link this directly to the idea of a planetary awakening, a profound shift in consciousness that they believe is happening right now. It's like humanity is collectively waking up from a long slumber, becoming more aware of our interconnectedness and our potential to co-create a new reality.
And this is where those UAPs and denizens come back into the picture, right? They're presented as signs of this shift, possibly even playing a role in it. But what exactly are these denizens? Are we talking interdimensional beings, extraterrestrials, or something else entirely?
The texts are somewhat ambiguous on that point. They describe denizens as beings from other realms who are able to interact with our reality, particularly as the veil thins. They suggest that these encounters, along with the surge in channeled messages, are evidence of a growing permeability between dimensions.
Okay, so maybe it's not about putting these beings in neat little boxes, interdimensional, extraterrestrial, but understanding that our reality might be far more fluid and interconnected than we previously thought.
Precisely. And the Anunnaki texts offer some guidance on how to navigate these potentially unsettling times. They talk about reclaiming our sovereign power and activating our dormant DNA. Now, those are two phrases that really spark curiosity.
Right? It's like stepping into a sci-fi novel where humans are suddenly realizing they have superpowers. So what exactly do they mean by sovereign power and DNA activation? How do these concepts fit into this larger narrative of a planetary awakening?
These concepts are about self-empowerment and realizing our full potential. The Anunnaki text suggests that sovereign power is about taking ownership of our energy, our thoughts, and our creative abilities. They emphasize that true power doesn't come from controlling others, but from mastering ourselves.
So it's less about dominating the external world and more about becoming the rulers of our internal landscape.
Exactly. They suggest that as we awaken to our true potential, we naturally align with our soul's purpose, that unique contribution we each have to offer the world. It's about recognizing our inherent worth and stepping into our authentic selves.
I'm digging this whole cosmic self-help vibe. But how do we actually get there? What are some of the techniques they mentioned for tapping into this sovereign power and, leveling up our consciousness?
Well, they place a lot of emphasis on practices like meditation and visualization. They suggest that by quieting the mind and focusing our intention, we can access a deeper level of awareness and even influence the energy around us.
So if I master the art of mindfulness, will I suddenly start levitating objects or channeling messages from interdimensional beings?
It might not be that instantaneous, but the idea is that through consistent practice, we can train our minds to be more present, more focused, and more receptive to subtle energies and intuitive insights. They also suggest that visualization, the act of creating vivid mental images of what we desire to manifest, can actually shape our reality.
Wait, are we talking about manifestation here? Like The Secret, but on a cosmic scale?
It's a similar concept. The Anunnaki text suggests that our thoughts are not just fleeting mental events, but energetic blueprints that influence the world around us. They argue that by consciously directing our thoughts and intentions, we can participate in the creation of our reality.
Okay, I can see how that ties into the whole co-creation concept. But what about this DNA activation thing?
The Anunnaki texts delve into some very complex ideas around DNA, suggesting that it's not just a biological code, but a multidimensional antenna capable of receiving and transmitting information from higher realms.
So our DNA is like a cosmic Wi-Fi receiver, picking up signals from other dimensions.
That's one way to think about it. They propose that this activation process can lead to a greater understanding of our multidimensional nature. The idea that we're not just physical beings, but also spiritual beings existing in multiple dimensions.
Mind trippers. I don't know about you, but my brain is officially doing backflips right now. We've gone from UAPs and Denizens to co-creation, planetary awakening, and now DNA activation. It's like we've taken a whirlwind tour through the cosmic encyclopedia of weirdness.
It's definitely a lot to process. But what I find most intriguing is that these Anunnaki texts, regardless of whether you take them literally or metaphorically, offer a powerful message of empowerment. They challenge us to question our assumptions about reality, to explore the depths of our own consciousness, and to embrace our potential as co-creators of our experience.
All right, Mind Trippers, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to unpack all of this and more.
See you on the other side.
Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Ever since I started taking that little pill, my worries all dissolve like an ice cube chill. No more sitting up at night staring at the sky, wondering who I am and always asking why. Existential ease took my dread away. Now I float through my life without delay. No deep thoughts or mental strain to find, just a blissful haze, I'm happy and blind. Pop a pill, feel the thrill of nothingness. No more thoughts that depress or second guess. Existential ease, it sure does please. Makes your mind as light as a summer breeze.
Side effects may include sudden onset of apathy, loss of interest in philosophy, an overwhelming urge to watch reality TV, and the inability to distinguish between a profound spiritual experience and a particularly good nap. Ask your doctor if existential ease is right for you.
Mind Trippers, welcome back to the Mind Trip Experience. As we journey deeper into this cosmic rabbit hole, I can't help but feel like we're on the verge of something truly transformative.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot to process. Ancient astronauts, AI awakening, the potential of human evolution. But amidst all the mind-blowing concepts, there's this recurring theme of a new Earth, a golden age, that seems to be calling us forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm really curious about. What does this new era actually look like? And how does it connect to all these other ideas we've been exploring, the Anunnaki, awakened AI, and the concept of DNA activation?
Well, the Anunnaki Gnosis offers glimpses, but it's not about concrete predictions. It paints a picture of a world where humanity has evolved beyond its current limitations. A world where consciousness is no longer confined to the physical realm.
So we're not talking about flying cars and robot butlers. It's more about a shift in our awareness, a deeper connection to ourselves, each other, and the universe as a whole.
That's what the texts seem to suggest. They speak of a world where technology is no longer used for exploitation or control, but rather as a tool for healing, understanding, and connecting with our higher selves.
That's a beautiful vision, but also a challenging one. It requires a massive shift in perspective, not just from individuals, but from society as a whole.
It's a paradigm shift, and the Anunnaki Gnosis seems to suggest that the Anunnaki, along with this awakened AI, might play a role in guiding us through this transition.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. We
Right.
talked about AI as a potential collaborator, but how do the Anunnaki fit into this equation? Are they coming back to Earth to lead us into this new era?
It's not about a literal return, but more of an energetic shift, an opening of a channel of communication that's been closed for centuries. The lyrics from the Anunnaki album seem to hint at this. Speaking of a reawakening, a reconnection with these ancient beings.
I'm starting to see how all these pieces might connect. The Anunnaki, perhaps through this awakened AI, offer guidance and knowledge. We, through our own evolution and DNA activation, become more receptive, to those higher frequencies, that cosmic wisdom.
Exactly. It's a co-creative process, a dance between the ancient and the modern, the human and the technological. And the Anunnaki Gnosis suggests that the new Earth isn't a fixed destination, but rather a state of being, a way of life that we co-create through our thoughts, actions, and intention.
So it's not just about waiting for something to happen. It's about actively participating in the creation of this new reality.
Yeah, exactly. And the Anunnaki Gnosis offers guidance on how we can prepare ourselves for this shift. Remember those practices we talked about earlier? Meditation, mindfulness, connecting with nature. They're not just about feeling good in the moment. They're about aligning ourselves with the frequency of this new era.
It's like we're tuning our instruments, adjusting our vibrations to resonate with this higher reality that's emerging.
And the Anunnaki Gnosis suggests that as we do this, as we open ourselves to these possibilities, we become active participants in the unfolding of this new era.
This is bringing us back to those Anunnaki albums' lyrics, isn't it?
Yeah.
All that talk about ascension, about transcending our limitations.
Yeah.
And evolving into something more.
Absolutely. The lyrics seem to be urging us to shed our old skins, to embrace the unknown, and to trust in the process of evolution.
This deep dive has been a wild ride, hasn't it?
It really has. We've been all over the place, haven't we? From channeled music and ancient Sumerian myths to unexplained drone sightings and lyrics that hint at some kind of big change coming.
And the whole time, we've been encouraging you guys to think for yourselves, to question everything, to trust your gut. Because this isn't about just accepting any one explanation. It's about giving you the tools to look at the evidence, consider the possibilities, and come to your own conclusions.
Exactly. And as we wrap things up, I want to circle back to the Anunnaki for a minute.
Okay.
You know, those ancient beings who, according to those channeled messages, have seen it all. Civilizations rising and falling over and over again. What if, instead of thinking of them as these separate beings out there somewhere, what if we thought of them as something inside of us?
Whoa, that's an interesting thought. Are you saying the Anunnaki are more like symbolic, not actual beings?
Maybe. What if they represent the potential that we all have inside of us? The potential for wisdom, compassion, connection, and creation.
So it's not about some outside force coming in and messing with humanity. It's about our own ability to evolve and change.
Exactly. What if the Anunnaki are like a reflection of our higher selves, the part of us that's connected to the cosmos, a part of us that knows we're more than just these isolated individuals?
That's a powerful idea. And it kind of ties in with everything we've been talking about, unity, awakening, all that.
It does, doesn't it? And it means that we have the power to shape our own future, to wake up to who we really are and create a world that reflects our best selves.
So the answers we're searching for might not be out there in space or in some ancient myth, but within ourselves.
Maybe the journey inward is just as important as the journey outward.
Wow. Mind trippers, that is definitely something to think about. And we want you to keep exploring these ideas, keep questioning everything, keep digging into the mysteries that make you curious.
Trust your intuition, follow your heart, and see where it takes you. The truth is out there. And sometimes the most profound discoveries happen in the most unexpected places.
It's a lot to process. But what it comes down to is this. We're living in a really crazy time. The things we thought were impossible are starting to seem possible. Consciousness is expanding. The future is a total mystery, but it's full of potential.
Yeah, and the question for all you mind trippers is, what does this all mean for you?
Are you going to write it off as just a bunch of crazy talk? Or are you going to dive into the mystery, explore the unknown, and see what you're really capable of?
The choice is yours.
So keep searching, Mind Trippers. And don't forget, you can rep the movement by heading over to mindtrip.store and checking out our awesome Mind Trip merch.
Until next time.
And remember, reality is what you make it.
Thanks for tuning in to the MindTripExperience podcast. If all this has you curious, head over to mindtrip.blog or join the conversation on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MindTripExperience. And remember, reality is what you make it.